Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 2 part 1 history from hunting gathering to growing food. In this video we are going to discuss about the earliest people, why were they on the move. Second, how do we know about these people? Third, choosing a place to live in. Fourth, finding out about fire. Next, a changing environment. The beginning of farming and herding. And domestication. So these are some of the topics which we are going to discuss in this video. So why the earliest people were on move? Why they were moving from one place to another? So as you all know that people who lived in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago, and we describe those early people as hunter and gatherers. Why they were known as hunter and gatherers? They were known as hunter and gatherers because the way in which they got their food. They used to hunt the wild animals. They used to catch fish and birds. They used to gather fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks and eggs. So because of the way of gathering and hunting for their food, they got their name. Now there were many reasons for their movement. There were many reasons they were moving one place to another. Now the first is, suppose if they stayed at one place for a long time, what would they have done? They would have eaten up all the available plant and animal resources. Because of that, they would have gone to other places in search of food. So first reason which is there for their movement is food. They would have exhausted all the food of the place and then they have gone to other place in search of food. Second, animals move from place to place either in search of smaller prey or, in case of deer and wild cattle, in search of grass and leaves. Now, following those animals for hunting, they would have gone to other places. So second is, in the process of hunting, following the animals who were actually in search of small prey or their food, grass or leaves, by following those animals they would have gone behind them. Third is, now plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons. So people moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. Fourth is, everyone needs water to survive, whether it is human being, plants or animals. Everyone needs water to survive, and as you know that water is found in water bodies like lakes, streams and rivers. Now many rivers and lakes are perennial. That means they have water throughout the year. but some of them are seasonal. In some season there is water, and in some of the season, rest of the time, there is no water. So people also moved that time in search of water during the dry seasons. If they are living near a water body and that water body is dried up, they would have gone in search of water. So these are some reasons for their movement. Now our next topic is, how do we know about these people? Now archaeologists have found some of the things which hunter and gatherers made and they used. And what were those things? So they found people made and used tools of stone, wood and bone. And in this, the stone tools have survived best. Now some of these stone tools were used to cut meat and bone. Also they used it scrap bark from trees and hides, animal skins, chop fruit and roots. Some of the stone tools may have been attached to handles of bone or wood to make spears and arrows for hunting. And other tools were used to chop wood, though woods were used as firewood. Also they used wood for making huts and tools. So these were the things found by archaeologists. In the picture you can see that stone tools may also have been used for digging the ground to collect roots in the first picture. And in the right side you can see that stitching clothes made out of animal skin, they have used stones. And because of they were using the stone tools, that age is called Stone Age, which is further divided into three parts: Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period and Neolithic period, in which 99% of human history is there in the Paleolithic period. So Paleolithic period contains large amount of history of human being, of early human. Now choosing a place to live in, you can see a map below, and you can see some of the places are marked with triangles, and these are sites from which archaeologists have found evidence of hunter and gatherers. They lived in many more places, and only some of the places are shown in this, like you can see Bhimbetka, Kurnool caves. And if you see, many sites were located near sources of water like river or lakes. So here we have some important archaeological sites. if you see in present day, it is in Madhya Pradesh and it is an old site with caves and rock shelters. And people chose these natural caves because they provided shelter from the rain, heat and wind. These rock shelters are close to Narmada Valley. Now here is a question. Can you think of why people chose to live here? So you think and write this answer. Now as we discussed that stone tools were important at that time for people. So people also tried to find places where good quality stones were easily available. So for that reason also people traveled from one place to another. Now we have rock paintings and what they tell us. You can see a rock painting here. It is from a rock shelter. And many of the caves in which these people, early people lived, they have paintings on the walls. And some of the best examples are from Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh. And these paintings basically show wild animals drawn with great accuracy and skill. Now what are sites? So sites are places where the remains of things like tools, pots, buildings, etc. were found. And these were made, used and left behind by people. These may be found on the surface of the earth, buried under the earth or sometimes even underwater. We will learn about different sites in later chapters. Now finding about fire. So here we have seen Kurnool cave in the map and there the traces of ash have been found, and by this we can understand that people were familiar with the use of fire, and fire could have been used for many things like as a source of light, to roast meat and to scare away animals. Today also we use fire for many reasons, and you need to write what do we use fire for today. Next we have names and dates, and archaeologists have given lengthy names for the time that we are studying. As I already told that they call the earliest period the Paleolithic period, and Paleolithic word comes from two Greek words, paleo and lithos. Paleo means old, lithos means stone. As we discussed, the whole period is known as Stone Age, and that is further divided into Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. So Paleolithic is also called Old Stone Age. The name points to the importance of finds of stone tools. Now this period extends from 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago. And this covers 99% of human history, and it is further divided into lower, middle and upper Paleolithic. Now when we find environmental changes which begins about 12,000 years ago till about 10,000 years ago, this period is called Mesolithic. That means Middle Stone Age. Now the stone tools which were found during this period were generally tiny and they were called microliths. And microliths were probably stuck onto the handles of bones or woods to make tools such as saws and sickles. Also they continued the old stone weapons, tools in use. Now the next stage from about 10,000 years ago is known as Neolithic. You need to think and write what the term Neolithic means. Next we have a changing environment. So around 12,000 years ago there was a major change in the climate of the world. The climate of the world shifted to relatively warm condition. Now because of this warm condition, in many areas there were development of grasslands. And because of the development of grasslands, there was an increase in the number of deer, antelope, goat, sheep and cattle. The animals actually survived on grass. Now, people who hunted these animals followed them and learned about their food habits and their breeding seasons, and this helped them to start thinking about herding and rearing these animals. Fishing also became important. Now we have the beginning of farming and herding. Now in this period, several grain bearing grasses like wheat, barley, rice, they grew naturally in different parts of subcontinent. Now men, women and children, they probably collected these grains as food and they learned where they grew and when they ripened. And like this, they thought about growing plants on their own. And like this, people became farmers. Now, people could also attract and then tame animals by leaving food for them near their shelter. And the first animal to be tamed was wild ancestors of the dog. Now later on, people encouraged animals that were relatively gentle to come near the camps where they lived, like sheep, goat, cattle, pig, which in this most of them used to eat grass. And often people protected these animals from attacks by other wild animals, and like this they became herders. Now can you think of any reasons why the dog was perhaps the first animal to be tamed? Next is domestication. Now domestication is the name given to the process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Now, very often plants and animals that are tended by people become different from wild plants and animals. And this is because people select plants and animals for domestication. Like they selected those plants and animals that are not prone to disease. And they also selected plants that yield large size grain and have strong stalks capable of bearing and weight of the ripe grain. Now, seeds from the selected plants are preserved and shown to ensure that new plants and seeds will have the same qualities. Now, amongst animals, those that are relatively gentle are selected for breeding, and in result, gradually domesticated animals and plants become different from wild animals and plants. For example, the teeth and horns of wild animals are usually much larger than those of domesticated animals. Now here are the two sets of teeth, and which do you think belongs to a wild pig and which to a domesticated one? Actually, domestication was a gradual process which took place in many parts of the world, and it began about 2000 years ago. And virtually all the plant and animal produce that we use as food today is a result of domestication. Some of the earliest plant to be domesticated were wheat and barley, and the earliest domesticated animals were sheep and goat. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.